Good morning, everybody. Now, in Scotland, it has been revealed that the Scottish government, which is run by the SNP, has given £372,000 of public money to a mosque in Glasgow. So the mosque is called the Al-Mahdi Islamic Centre, and it has been claimed that this mosque has links to the Iranian government and regime. That is just a claim, an allegation. It has also been said, another allegation has been made, that it was used actually as a ballot centre for the most recent Iranian presidential election, and it's being used as a base for the Iranian regime in Scotland. Again, that's an allegation, but that's been reported in some media outlets. These payments took place in the past between 2014 and 2020, but they're just coming to the light of day now as someone has actually asked a question about this in the Scottish Parliament of the SNP, which is now run by a Pakistani man called Humza Yousaf. Now, he was not the First Minister at the time these payments were made, but he was in the government of the Scottish Parliament, obviously when Nicola Sturgeon was the First Minister. Now, the thing with this is the payments were made under something called the Climate Change Fund, and they were made on the basis that they were to be used to raise awareness of climate change issues among ethnic minority communities and to make buildings more energy efficient. And they've said that, well, the payments were only given when they had evidence that these criteria were met. But, I mean, that could be anything. They could say, oh, yeah, we did a talk about climate change in the mosque. Yeah, likely as that is. And therefore, okay, here you go. Here's some money. And who knows where it's gone. I don't know. That will need more investigation. But it's good that this has come out, because such a sum of money should not be given to an Islamic centre for something which is just so, nebulous as this, which, honestly, can you actually prove that this money has been used for what they said it was going to be used for? Very much doubtful there. The thing is, this was 3 years ago. What payments have been made since then to this mosque, to other mosques, to other Islamic centres and other NGOs in general around Scotland? But this is not just an issue that affects Scotland, it also affects the whole of the UK, because local authorities, regional parliaments, the national parliament are just sloshing away money to organisations, institutions, NGOs, which just do not use that money for any good purpose. And you can give some money away on the basis that they're raising awareness of climate change, and that money just gets trousered into somebody's pockets. And this is not just an issue of £372,000 here to one mosque. That shouldn't have been given out. But there are billions of pounds being given out to NGOs which don't deserve it, all over the UK, and it is a huge waste of money. And in some cases, I would say that it is corruption, and this needs to be rooted out, weeded out, and we need to be responsible with the finances that we have. Government ministers very easily forget that the money that they have, the money they use, is not their own. It's either comes from taxpayers through tax, or it's created out of thin air by the Bank of England, and then people have to be taxed in the future to pay that back with interest. So you're either taxed now directly, or you're taxed in the future, and also that if you create money out of thin air, like the Bank of England does in the fiat currency system, that of course leads to inflation, which then reduces the value and the purchasing power of your savings. So when governments are financially irresponsible, you lose, ordinary people lose one way or the other. So we must be responsible with our finances and not spend more than we get in from taxation in the current account, in the current year. We should not be borrowing money to give out on silly projects like this and piling up our national debt. The thing is, it doesn't matter whether it's the central government doing this or a regional parliament like the Scottish Parliament or local councils like those who have got themselves into huge debt recently, like Woking and Slough and Croydon. There's Nottingham the other day. Councils, local councils all over the country are spending money in a grossly irresponsible way. But that then just lands up on the national balance books and it increases our national debt by another few thousands or millions or billions of pounds. In the case of Woking there, small council got into nearly £2 billion of debt. It's almost unbelievable that this could happen. So this is just something which is quite appalling, an appalling waste of taxpayers' money. Now, to a government, £370,000 doesn't sound like too much, but for an ordinary person, this is 10 people's salary at least. For an ordinary person, an ordinary working person earning £25,000 to £30,000, it's more than 10 people's salaries, whole salaries, and they're just splashing it onto a mosque. So from the perspective of an ordinary person, this is a lot of money, and governments need to be responsible with everything, even down to this amount of money. They are not supposed to splash it out on a mosque for no good reason, or any other of the hundreds of thousands of NGOs that we have in the country that should be raising their own money rather than getting grants from governments. So this needs to stop. And this needs to change. And if you want real change, then you need to vote for the Heritage Party in England, in Scotland, in Wales, and in Northern Ireland. You can join us, you can stand as a candidate, and you can find out more about our manifesto on heritageparty.org. Okay, thanks for listening, everybody. Have a good day.